$5 on it being one of those electric scooters that you see piled up on the sidewalk?
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming games all week on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Welcome back to another
Let's
video,
get
guys.
started
We're
with
checking out
Techland
Gamescom.
and their upcoming zombie parkour sequel,
We're already
Dying
about to
Light
start,
2
so
Stay
stay
Human.
quiet. Techland.
Hello, I am Timon Smektawa, Dying Light 2 lead game designer, and this is David Lubryka, animation director. Hi. We can't wait until December 7th to finally give you Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the game we have been working on really hard for the last few years.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste of parkour and combat systems waiting for you in the game.
And we are just about to enter the city, fighting our way
When is it
through its
finally
brutal
coming
and
out?
dangerous
This has been
streets.
coming out for a minute.
Though, as
Yeah,
you will
it's been a
see in
fat
a
ass
moment,
minute.
there are plenty of things you can use to your advantage. So watch closely, look for special combat and parkour moves, and check out how with just a bit of creativity you can combine the two. Ready? Let's go!
Sometimes I wonder what this city looked like before all this.
About the same.
Probably like many others. People had their ambitions, plans, lives.
They're still trying to get a chicken
it's
sandwich
all
over there
gone.
too.
The virus started it, but it
Someone's
was the
still
people
alive.
who made the world the way it is. This city, Villador. They tell me they had a vision,
Soda and
They had
burgers. That's a sign.
but soon one vision broke into many different ones.
Hell of a company name.
Oh shit, they were in the guys. What the fuck?
Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other.
Oh shit.
War broke out.
Was it a little bird? Met a broken leg?
Hope died. Now the city is falling.
Each time we strike down an enemy, we absorb their strength.
I
Parkour!
can't let that happen.
Oh shit.
That was
Parkour!
supposed to bug.
Not yet.
Parkour!
I need the secrets the city holds.
My playthrough is gonna get real annoying. Let me just get on parkour all the time. Parkour!
I have to decide.
Parkour!
Good people.
You're doing great so far.
There's a lot more people than in the first one.
I have to make a difference.
Let's check and see.
Bro, you have a sock on your head. Parkour! This
They
is
say
some high
that great
parkour.
change is a series of small gestures. How
Batman.
about this series?
Oh, that looks raw as fuck. Where are you, Captain America?
The strength.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my god, that guy got kicked through the bus.
Jesus Christ. Oh, brass knuckles.
Is all
Combat
hope
looks
really
amazing.
gone? We'll see about that.
Well, that was an exciting trip, wasn't it, Timon? Did you notice those bandits in medieval-like armor passing by skyscrapers, banks, and large billboards? That's what we call a modern Dark Ages.
And it's a very unique design, one very important for the plot of Dying Light 2. But there's another thing that stood out to me, all those parkour moves that you and your team has put so much effort
He
into.
says parkour. I
Well,
call it
all you need
Parker.
is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers,
Man's
mobile
villain.
sessions,
Parker.
and invaluable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first game.
Parker.
And we are showing
Peter
some of
Parker.
them in this trailer. The vault kicks being the most important to me personally. It brings a whole new fighting style into the game. The player can stagger an enemy and use them to perform further attacks, for example, by rebounding from their bodies, jumping off them onto other foes, and so on.
I think we captured the movement really well and made it quite simple for the players to perform. I can't wait for them to try it out and tell for themselves how much they loved it.
It's definitely going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers around, like a paraglider, which can support players in both parkouring and combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna do great, especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1.
I hope that's
It's
not
been
their game
over
studio.
20 years since the
They're in a
events from the
basement.
first
This is
game,
like a
so people
survival bunker.
adjusted. They are
Yeah, that's
much
what I was
literally
bolder
an air
now,
vent behind
at
me.
least
Yeah.
during the day.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore its vast, complex world on December 7th. Thanks, David.
Oh,
Thank you.
December 7th.
Like, it's not that far out, but it is really far out.
For the first time in the storied history of the franchise, Microsoft Flight Simulator launched on a home console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning visuals and the depth of the simulation translated to the console, and that's why I'm extremely honored to welcome the head of Microsoft Flight
Too
Simulator,
bad they had to downgrade
York
it.
Newman, to the stream. York,
Oh,
thank you
baby.
for
No,
being
it's
here.
really gonna get it
The
across.
last time we met was at the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on consoles. How did that go?
It went great. As you said, the reaction to the Xbox console launch was
This man
really
has
just amazing.
fucking
Both from Xbox
bomber
gamers
jacket.
and from the press, they've been so gracious with their
It's a
feedback.
special one for
I don't know
the
if you know,
dev team on
but
it.
the Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox this year, which I think is just great validation that the translation of the simulation to the console has really worked well. Our usage numbers are through the roof. We are absolutely shattering franchise records, and I can tell you, there have never been more people playing Flight Simulator than right now. So it's an awesome time.
That is awesome. Congratulations on the launch, really. But
All right.
I want to go to the danger zone. So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on, Paris. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick earlier. The fans
why
are
he's
super
wearing the
excited.
bomber
They saw
jacket.
the FA-18. They can't wait to start flying. And as you know, it comes out later this year.
Speed
It's free
posture
DLC
is like throwing me off.
alongside the movie. But as the movie is still under wraps, so are we. So I can still not tell you that much about it. But there's so much else going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time. And next month, on September 7th, we are launching World Update 6. And this World Update, I mean, at the beginning
That's
of the show, if you
Alaska.
remember, there was a little red plane
Yeah,
flying into
yeah.
Cologne. Well, we did that because World Update 6 updates that region, the region of Gamescom. So Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And what that means to us is we have new aerial and satellite images. We have a new elevation map that helps us with the mountains. So the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like
small
Frankfurt
ass
and
landing.
Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in Switzerland.
Looks beautiful.
We have
Holy shit,
Vienna
dude.
and Graz in Austria. And those cities look just
So download it
amazing.
again so I
amazing.
can
They have like
benchmark it
7
up on
centimeters
PC now.
resolution, and it's awesome. But we want to celebrate the entire region. So we picked 100 of the most scenic places, the most famous landmarks, and we call those POIs. And we sort of spread
just
them throughout
said point of interest, but I
the
get it.
simulation. And we also added airports. We did Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany, and Klagenfurt in Austria, and
But
St.
no, I need
Gallen
these
in
places.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
And what it ties it all together is
I still
missions.
can't
We're
get
having
over this
new
bomber jacket.
discovery flights. We have new
The feet are throwing me.
landing challenges, and we have
The
new
what?
sort of
His
tours
feet
of the
are
country. So
throwing me.
They fly you around all the
See
awesome
that?
looking places and really celebrate the beauty of this region of Earth. And this is a celebration of DACH, of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I'm so happy to be able to announce the date here at Gamescom.
Bruh, why is he
You know,
stacking them?
That is really incredible, all the different regions
dude,
and
it's
everything.
thro- like I said, it's throwing me.
The way that you're going to be able to actually highlight those.
Bruh, he's
Yeah, I
stacking
think
them.
it's really cool. But you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We talked a lot when you study aviation and you love aviation like we do.
What is going on?
You actually realize that a lot of regions of
Legos,
Earth
my
have a
man.
very
This
special
isn't Jenga.
relationship
Chill.
with flying, with aviation. Sometimes it's, you know, the first experiments with aircraft, or a famous pilot, or a feat of aviation, or like a local manufacturer. So we thought to ourselves, why do we not use these world updates to celebrate the planes? So we are announcing a new series. We call them Local Legends. And think about that as planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world, not so much.
Yeah.
But why not use the World Updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a worldwide audience? So for World Update 6, we picked a German plane from the 1930s. It's called Junkers U-52. In Germany, it's lovingly named Tante U, so Aunt U. And we think of us as sort of a digital preservation. So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go deep. So we're doing a full scan. We take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter, which is as good as you can do this. And then we're working with, for the Junkers, we work with Bernd Junkers, who is the grandson of the original creator of the plane, Hugo Junkers. And he's helping us. He had a ton of insight and materials. Then we worked with an organization that is preserving the last surviving examples of the Junkers. So they let us scan photographs, and then we were lucky to find a pilot that actually flew one of those planes while it was still flying in the real world. And he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in the air? So we're having a blast working with these experts to really bring these, to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
So this is almost like you're creating like a digital museum for aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. It's a museum with flyable planes. So we're working with 40 museums around the world, and it's honestly one of the funnest parts of the job. You end up working with these curators of planes. These are their babies, and they sort of see the tooth of time in the real world sort of nagging on their remaining planes, and they're so happy when we come in with our scanning equipment, and we're basically capturing their planes, and they know that we can digitally preserve them in perpetuity. And we're actually giving those scans back to the museum so they can do something with it. And it's a great collaboration. And we're actually not just looking back in the history of aviation, we're also looking towards the future. So I have another announcement. We are working with a fascinating German company called Volocopter.
Yeah.
And they're making an eVTOL
it's not
air
comfortable.
taxi for urban traffic. So they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly in the flight simulator, and that's coming out in November.
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying that there's a lot going on inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to announce that we've partnered with RARA. That's the Reno Air Racing Association. And every year they put on something called the Steel National Championship Air Race. And we're bringing this to Flight Simulator. So this is the fastest motorsport. This is right down your alley. It's the fastest motorsport on Earth. And I actually brought you a little trailer to look at.
So race, speed, we go into the danger zone, baby. Let's go ahead and show that.
Oh my.
So this is gonna be fucked whenever I'm still trying to start my fucking engine and people are gone.
Yeah, I was about to say I still haven't fully learned that game. I remember I mashed every button until something started to go.
Yeah.
Bro, I was hitting levers, shutting shit off. I was like, nah, this still feels
You know I like going fast, and you know I love being in the danger zone. When is this coming out?
Man, these planes, they fly 500 miles, faster than 500 miles an hour, 50 to 250 feet above the ground. So you are definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean, without going into too much detail, this Reno Air Race is actually the largest expansion we have since we launched on Flight Simulator. It's not just because we scanned all the famous race planes of the world. There's lots of them. This is also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots across the planet. And so a competitive multiplayer is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out? This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, that is fantastic. And you know I have the need for speed, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
Awesome, man. We got you covered.
All right, thank you. If going fast on the ground is more your speed, keep an eye out for an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 later on in the stream. We'll also talk with Wasteland 3's game director about the game's next big DLC.
Is it really
But
Xbox
first,
without Forza?
if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, we have some great news for you.
Oh shit, Humble Games?
Xbox Game Pass. It wouldn't be Xbox without adding more shit to Game Pass. That's it. What the hell is this?
Build a rocket that'll come and take away.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's actually dope. Yeah.
Gonna come back. I am
Oh, trying that too. Yeah, this looks dope.
Damn, bro. Shit.
build a
So,
weapon
when does this come out?
turn us into new borns again. Build a weapon, one that blows the world away. Build a rocket that'll come and take away us all. Gonna come back, I am coming back in a day.
Looks so satisfying, I ain't gonna
Yeah, it
lie.
looks satisfying, but I'd say, what the fuck is this?
This looks cool.
Oh, okay. When though? You gave us no date.
Yep,
Should've said
somehow
available
they
now.
did it. They added even more games to Game Pass. But let's talk about what's coming up. We're talking Age of Empires 4 with the game's creative director, and we're going to see what's next for Sea of Thieves.
Okay,
But
it has to be
now,
something
we've
that's
got a
coming out
new
really soon, like
roguelike
today or
retro
tomorrow,
shooter that,
because
in
they didn't
grand
even have a
retro
date.
fashion, sends you plundering through
just
shifting
said- she
dungeons
said
to
that
defeat a
they
mysterious
added more
eldritch
games.
terror. Let's dive into the pit.
World exclusive. No.
Reminds me of Doom.
Yeah. Well, demons summoning. Except with instead of guns, you're blasting out of your hands.
Art style too.
Yeah.
Bruh.
World exclusive.
Well, I am here with creative director of World's Edge, Adam Eisgreen. And Adam, I'm so excited to talk H4, of course, because you've brought something a little different and very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what Age looks like from in the game, when you're playing it. You've gotten to see a lot of footage of that. And we've also shown a little bit of our campaigns, right, through when we unveiled the 100 Years' War and showed Joan of Arc. But we have yet another way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing history to life that we haven't talked about yet.
See, you do this to me. You put me in suspense. I want to know more, so let's go with it.
Well,
Let's hear more.
Okay, wait, you get one moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign, and they're about 3 to 5 minutes each. And we have over an hour of them total, and they're called Hands-On Histories. And what they are is a great way to deep dive on certain fun subjects from the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments
dodge
that
the
you're going to
bullet.
share here for the very first time.
Yes, I have.
I ain't gonna
We
lie,
are
I'm
going
not that
to show
interested right
you
now.
the segment on one of the most popular units from Age of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this I gotta see. Let's
off with the
take a
heads.
look.
A counterweight trebuchet.
Yay. Oh, that's
the king
live.
Of all siege
That's actual, like,
engines.
real life.
You might not want to be on the receiving end of that camera guy.
Down castle walls from
Fucking
great
A.
distances.
Bro, that shit rocked somebody's hard ass work.
At Warwick Castle in England, they've built a replica, one of the largest in the world. Originating in 7th century China, by the 13th century, trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly
Can you
powerful
imagine who had to
weapons.
pull that shit all the way
Such a
out to the
simple
field?
design, but so
That'd be
effective.
exhausting.
Someone
It has
says they
several
want a
key
war, yeah,
features.
y'all gonna come to us. And they're like 13
Pivoted
trebuchets, I'm not
with a
carrying the
weight at
bitches
one
out
end
there.
and a
You're gonna
sling
have to come to
to
us.
hold the
I'm not
projectile
going
at the
out there
other.
with these heavy ass things.
To prime, the 6-ton weight is raised using tread wheels.
So this is one of the wheels, one of two that's
Hamster wheel.
attached to an axle, which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle power alone. What's
Exactly, I'm
essential
not going out
about
there.
launching a projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm moving at its highest velocity.
This was done by positioning the pivot close to the counterweight and by launching the projectile from a sling. When released, the sling whips round, vastly increasing the launch speed. Trebuchets were
Bro, that
carefully
shit ain't
aimed,
on securely.
like modern guns.
Hey, bro.
In order to weaken the castle walls or even
the
breach
loosest
them,
hook
you
I've
had
seen
to
in
make
my
sure that the
life.
projectiles hit the same spot every single time.
For each projectile to follow the same trajectory, they all had to be the same weight and shape. To achieve this, masons used a gauge.
Now I'm going to
I think you
load
overcut
this
it, buddy.
projectile into the sling. Oh, this one must weigh about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150 kilograms. That's the weight of 2 men.
Trebuchets were also used to throw burning tar, beehives, even dead bodies. Anything to cause
Damn,
maximum
we ran out
distress
of
to the enemy.
ammo. Corpses.
Goddamn.
Bro, can you imagine?
Hear that?
Somebody
whoosh?
had to make an executive call.
It was the counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate medieval siege weapon.
That had to be an executive call. We're running out of ammo,
You know I'm
sir.
gonna say trebuchet.
Get the bodies!
Don't care because that is awesome and remarkably unique.
That
something
would have
we
been
don't see in
fucked if you
games
got hit
very
by that
often.
shit.
Yeah,
Can you
so,
imagine, bro?
you know,
It's
one
not
of
a
the
rock.
things
What
when
is
we were
it? It's
looking at what we're
legs.
going to do with Age of Empires 4, there's a phrase I'm really fond of, which is history is only as interesting as the people who taught it to you. And you could say that about any subject, really, right? But I think the great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really
Doesn't
comes
look
across.
very
And we
interested
wanted
in
to
this.
be that kind of teacher for
She was
history.
like nodding her head.
And,
Let's get this over with.
There's a phrase called humanized
that'd be
history that I
awesome.
use to kind of describe what we tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like CG kind of overlaid to show you the
This
history.
is only going to be a couple minutes.
And so
What the
for
fuck?
these,
Yeah, you
we
can
really
see she
wanted to
keeps
do
looking
that
at the
same
paper.
thing. So ourselves and Relic partnered with this amazing group in the UK called Lion TV, and they've done production on an amazing amount of shows and documentaries for the BBC and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things were made. And it's been delightful to kind of go through that process and get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these hands-on history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward to? Any favorites you got coming up?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery.
Okay.
And I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when you shot them. And so.
I think someone got mad that they kept on talking about Age of Empires.
Bro, they had to,
man. I thought it was over.
Everybody in chat. R.I.P.
Well,
Rip.
Time to join them.
TV went off.
Someone said, "Thank God."
Oh my God! I'm not logged in on this page, so I can't fucking type. I was gonna say take that L.
Their views are going up now.
Bro, what is going on?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Someone said, well, it said go to YouTube. F in chat. Nice live. Let me refresh it. Damn, bro, this man's still talking about this shit. they went down so quick, bro.
Yo, 48,000 people, and then it jumped to 56.
Done before in
still
a
on
game,
my
right?
Xbox.
We're history, but we're a game. But we're
YouTube,
teaching you
man.
things, but you're having fun, and finding that middle ground has been really
Their
challenging.
Twitch chat.
And,
Oh wait,
every
I
time we've
refreshed. It's
tried to
working.
we've shown the campaigns, or we've shown these hands-on histories. I've been
It's okay if I get to skip a little bit of that.
They're still talking about it, bro.
really excited. Right now, you can go onto the Microsoft
when I
Store
went to
or
the
Steam,
YouTube one, it was-
pre-order the game
it was,
right
I
now.
dug it.
And of course, we will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well. So anyone that's on that can just grab the
Kinda
game
wants
and
to
start
keep
playing.
chat open.
But
Yes, I believe you are a part of something very special.
yes,
said,
so
it's
Gamescom
back.
opening night live,
Yes.
11 a.m. Pacific time. There might be something Age of Empires related in there, so if you're a fan, you probably should tune in.
Someone said game of the
Tease
year,
from
boys.
Mr. Ice Green,
Maybe.
and I like it very much. Adam, thank you so much for joining us here.
Always a pleasure, Kate.
Always a pleasure. Age of Empires 4 looks fantastic, so I cannot wait.
Someone said I was
October
hoping it
20th,
was gone when
near
I
to
came
you.
back.
Now we have tons coming up here today, including a new update for State of Decay 2 and an
So, can
extended
you
look
show
at
us
Forza
anything that
Horizon
anyone
5
actually
with our
cares
friends at
about?
Playground Games. But now, let's catch up with Paris, who's gone from
Where's
flying
this
the skies
game,
in
bro?
Microsoft Flight Sim to a different kind of cloud.
That's right, Kate. Xbox
Someone
Cloud
said put it
Gaming
on
is
console,
already
fuckface.
available on Windows PCs, mobile phones, and tablets. And now it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting to install, no running out of hard drive space, no waiting to patch, and no buying a new console just to play with your friends.
Oh my
See
God,
how the vision
that's
of cloud
just
gaming
hilarious.
will bring people together without barriers.
So when I think about cloud and when I think about gaming, those two things together to me really show you the future where you can pick up something and you could play it anywhere and you could do it quickly.
The new Xbox controller actually isn't bad. Because when I had to set up my Elite and I got this one until it goes back, they're actually not bad at all. They're actually pretty good.
Cloud gaming is phenomenal.
thought it was
That's
gonna
pretty
put me at a
great. I mean,
disadvantage.
that's pretty awesome.
Oh my
Actually
god.
looks so good.
Oh shit.
Games are large
Yes,
and you want to
why?
keep the ones that you know you love on your hard drive. Xbox Cloud Gaming is about being able to discover the new ones right away. It's super
I thought I
exciting
finally
that for
got
our Game
into
Pass
Destiny.
Ultimate members, they will get to experience Xbox Cloud Gaming
Mine
on whatever
finished
console they
already,
have.
but I don't think
Cloud
it's
gaming
up
is
yet.
really about looking
No,
at
it's up.
how people play
That's it?
differently.
Yeah.
I know me in
The update's up?
particular, sometimes
Yeah.
I just have 20 minutes.
The fuck? I thought you said it was gonna.
It should be
Well,
as
like
easy
three or
as
something.
finding
No, I
the
said
game that
one.
you look for on your console and just jumping right in.
I thought I got in because it keeps on saying they're at capacity, and I messaged one of the dudes I used to play with. He's like, "Yeah, you just got to keep on like logging back on. You got to Alt F4 and just keep getting back on it." And then this time, whenever I loaded up, it said it popped up saying your name has been auto-generated for crossplay. And I was like, oh, I got in. I click on that shit and it says, oh yeah, so we're at capacity.
Pretty much play any Xbox game on Game Pass.
Yeah, what is that game they're playing? The one with the fucking lawnmowers and
friends
the
have
bucket
titles
engine?
that
I don't know. That's why I was like, oh.
It makes content just so much more
It
accessible.
might just be on console, but we'll have to look it up. 'cause that
I
shit
really
looks
love the
sick.
flexibility. It's awesome.
Everything that Xbox is doing right now is just getting rid of the limits of having to be on a specific platform or a specific console. Play on PC and mobile, and now on Gen 8.
Yeah, Gen 8 consoles can play Gen 9 content. Isn't that so cool?
With cloud gaming, we have the ability, because you are connecting to consoles that are in our data centers, to allow the Gen 8 customers, the Xbox One customers, to play games that their hardware wouldn't have been able to play without it.
There's so much opportunity when it comes to thinking about how we can make content more readily available and let people play where they want to. Sign me up. I'm ready for cloud gaming right now. Let's do it. When's the release date? When does it release?
How the fuck did we get to Gen 9 consoles?
August 9th.
I thought we were on
saw
Gen
the
3
release of
consoles.
a free optimized
It's the
update for
Xbox,
Hellblade:
Xbox
Senua's
360,
Sacrifice
Xbox
on the
One,
Xbox Series S
and
and
then
X,
Xbox
with beautiful
Series
and
X
rich
and S.
visuals thanks to the
And
addition
most
of ray
should be at
tracing
4 or
and
5.
improved materials alongside
The fuck?
performance updates. This is the perfect
They-
opportunity
This is,
to relive
Hellblade.
Senua's journey or experience it for the first time. And if you haven't played
Oh,
this,
it's the first
do
one.
yourself a favor, grab a pair of headphones, and immerse
agree.
yourself into this world.
Agreed. Speaking of unique experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ID at Xbox
so
titles over the
overrated,
next few
yeah.
days, including
Nah, bro.
12 minutes and
Hellblade was
They're also
cool.
talking with developers
Haven't
from
played
Halo,
it.
the Master Chief
I-
Collection, Forza Horizon
Highly
5,
recommend it,
and
especially like I said with
Destiny 2.
headphones.
So join the live
Cool.
Q&A to get your burning questions answered. You can catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5, don't forget our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the game map, plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've loved everything I've seen of Forza
doing better
Horizon
than Madden.
5 so far, and I can't wait. Now, Kate, there's more games to check out, right?
Well, right you are, Paris. Let's talk Wasteland 3. Their newest DLC introduces us to a new cult. The Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Oh god. I guess they worship the nuke.
The holy detonation is life.
If that's their bomb, it's not good.
Within Cheyenne Mountain,
That shit like
we've
nuclear. Goddamn.
changed.
What you making powdered
Devolved into
cheese?
the mutations
Ew.
you see before you.
Bro, look at it.
Set on a righteous
Well, there's a nuke.
path.
Yeah, they're worshiping that
The
shit.
holy detonation's life-giving glow should be shared with everyone.
No, that's radiation with that cut.
May the light of the holy detonation purify you. Join us, Rangers.
I'd rather not.
Someone said nay. Oh man.
With new patches, bug fixes, and added features like fine wine, Wasteland 3 just gets
Talk
better
about
with
Outriders.
age. To really savor the game's bouquet, we're talking with In Exile game director David Rogers. David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
So in the trailer, we saw that the DLC is coming out on October 5th, but we know, In Exile, Wasteland 3, you guys have been working on this for a very long time. So can you kind of talk about that journey?
Yeah, our dev team has been working nonstop full tilt, trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself it could be. Over the past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened to the community, we've fixed bugs, added stability, and I really think that the version that we have now is the absolute best version of the game. And if you've never played it before, now's an awesome time to play
Bruh,
it.
that's too good.
Well, congratulations on everything that you've been doing with Wasteland 3. Now, this DLC is called The Cult of the Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right. So you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't, Cheyenne Mountain is this top secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you hit level 16, an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help securing this secret military base and all the secrets within. And as soon as you get there, you find 2 warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the Holy Detonation, which is this pre-war science experiment that they worship as a god. And, these cultists are insane, they're mutated, they've gone totally mad, and all they want to do is share the holy radiation with you and your entire ranger team. How generous.
Yeah, that sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past, but this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there and mix up, right?
Right. So you and your ranger team insert yourself right smack dab in the middle of their holy war, which, what could go wrong? And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide everything. Choice and consequence is our bread and butter. And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed over, who takes charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's awesome. So the last expansion was the Battle of Steel Town, right? You had giant robots and things like that. So, what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted returning players to find something that they could never find in another version or in previous versions of
we should just nuke them.
And so we built this as a Wasteland-style dungeon crawl. And in there you find this awesome mix of mystery, exploration. You're meeting these crazy cultists who have been locked in this pre-war time capsule, and some of the raddest boss battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the crazy cultists, but talk to me about these big boss battles. I want to hear more about that.
Right. So we took the best parts of Wasteland combat and we breathed new life into it with objective-based combat, which are basically super rad boss battles. It's no longer you're huddling in a corner, throwing down turrets, just going on murderous rampages. It's not about killing, it's about getting the job done. And so now combat doesn't end until the mission is over. We send you on proper combat missions. You're in there breaking into prisons, rescuing POWs. You're disrupting these high-tech cultist rituals. You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like you never have had to before. Everyone on your team has a job, and I really think this is going to take old players who know their ranger team like the back of their hands, and it's going to make them scratch their head and really have to rethink how they go about combat and making it new, exciting, and challenging mentally in a way we haven't been able to really do before with just straight-up murder combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
Right.
What are some of the weird characters we can expect in some of the story encounters we'll see in the game?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs loose and just let them be creative and fun and silly. Exile's modus operandi is if we're brainstorming and something makes us laugh,
20,000
put it in the
views,
game.
dude.
That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we want to make something that entertains us, and then we know if we're having fun, our fans are going to have fun along with us. And so we got to explore, really letting you get deep into this weird radiation cult, and let you interact with them and talk with them.
It's kind of fucked
because
maybe
even join them.
they're not seeing these messages, so nobody gives a shit what they're saying.
The first cultist you meet is this slathering beast. He's got claws and fangs and spikes jutting out, and he's drooling, but he's the nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain. You meet him and he's like, hey guys, you should come in here and soak up some of these rads, it'll be great. And he Sherpas you in and lets you meet the whole cult. And another
if
one
it's not turn-based, I might try it.
He's what you get if you took 20 cultists and you melted them into a big pile, kind of I would do this with a magnifying glass. I would melt army guys and GI Joes into a big pile, and he's wet and sloppy and gross, and he's hard to understand, and he needs a translator supposedly, but he's your number one fan. And getting to build this totally out there wild extreme character was a ton of fun to write for. It's a ton of fun to explore what makes this cult tick, and he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the in Cheyenne Mountain, they're devolved cultists. There's one guy, and he kind of devolved into this vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that.
So it doesn't seem to be turn-based. It might actually be dope, Diablo-esque,
goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. A lot of really important stuff is at stake, but it's the Wasteland is a pretty bizarre place.
I just wanted to stop.
I can imagine. Now, we talked before.
Stop asking him questions.
There's already expansions that are out there, But say I'm a new player. Say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3. What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into this?
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3. Just download it and play it. And then you can get both expansions with the expansion pass.
Yeah, someone said,
now, to kind of recap
me and that
bit,
Kill Me guy have something in common right now.
Spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and all these really cool things that are going to be in Wasteland 3. But please remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this Work of Passion, it comes out on October 5th. We're really stoked.
That is awesome. So this is the Cult.
No, October's a big month.
Detonation coming October 5th. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Barish. Appreciate it.
All right. In the 3 years since its launch, Sea of Thieves has played host to some incredible crossovers, including unique ship sets inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and more. Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem, and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Finally, he's gone.
Borderlands. That was a claptrap on the front, if I'm not mistaken.
It looks very Borderlands-esque. Yeah.
So wow, it's McDonald's.
Guten Tag, everyone. Really cool to be a part of this all-digital Gamescom
Let's
event.
go!
And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves. And we're giving all of our players a chance to earn it during kind of the Gamescom time period. So it's been really cool to work with the Borderlands team to bring this ship to life, and giving all of our players the chance to earn it as part of this live event that we've cunningly titled Mayhem. You might notice the link. So you can probably guess the kind of activities that are involved, but if you head to Larina at any of the outposts in the Sea of Thieves world, she'll be able to fill you in on the details of what you need to go do to earn the ship set. So we hope everybody gets a chance to take part in this awesome time-limited event. So it starts today, and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to get your hands on the Mayhem ship.
Someone said it's the guy from Fortnite.
So as always, I will see you on the seas.
Yeah, you were in front of that.
Killed yourself. What the fuck?
Why not shoot them back and you watch the explosions build up? Oh, man. Oh, I got into Destiny finally.
World exclusive.
State of Decay.
Hope.
Oh, makes sense.
It's always been a dangerous world in Trumbull Valley.
Oh. State of Decay! Let's go!
It's hope that brings us back together.
Ugh.
It reunites old friends. It builds new bonds. And in the face of a growing threat, hope is the greatest weapon we have.
This is a DLC.
Yep.
What happened to State of Decay 3? Don't get me wrong, I don't mind the DLC, but what the fuck happened?
Bro, someone said COVID simulator.
Right. New map here. 6 new bases. New weapons. Big club stick. God damn, he chucked.
Welcome back to Trumbull Valley.
Bad guy, bro.
Well, just Just like zombies themselves, it seems everything old is new again in State of Decay 2. And we have a guest to walk us through this Undead update. Please join me in welcoming Undead Labs Director of Communications, Wanda Russell. Hello, Wanda, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. It's great to be here, talk about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st. We are very excited to get this into players' hands.
You are indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming update. Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update, back in 2019. Talk to me about the differences, and I'll sit right here and listen, because you're adorable.
So Heartland is the story mode within the game, but it's a very linear, narrative-driven experience. You know, players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open world map. It's fully remastered, and it expands into 2 territories that were completely inaccessible in Heartland. So players can return to Trumbull Valley with their communities, start new communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then would Homecoming be a sequel then to Heartland?
Yeah, exactly right. So the events in Heartland kind of play out. You see what happens in Trumbull Valley. So we think of it as the 3rd part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then and what storylines might be coming to a close. So there is a lot for players to discover, a lot of environmental storytelling to find, and you know, things have changed. So this isn't the Trumbull Valley that players might remember. So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very cool weapons. We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters. And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty pack. So that will be available from the bounty broker across all maps. And I have to say, they are some of the coolest weapons I have ever seen go into the game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
A juggernaut amount of content, and I don't care who sees that second pun of the day. That works out great. Well, let's talk about the State of Decay community, because it's absolutely an integral part to this entire franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and you know, we have an amazing community. We love them so much. In fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is because it was one of the most requested features from the community, which also makes it very exciting for us to be able to say, we did it, you get it. And we have a major milestone that we're celebrating. State of Decay 2 has 10 million lifetime players.
10 million lifetime hang your hat on that. I absolutely love that.
Really grateful.
Incredible, amazing news. Congratulations to you and the entire team at Undead Labs, man. Fantastic work.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Xbox Game Pass, let's give me the deets one more time when it comes to the update.
So the update releases September 1st. It's a free update for all State of Decay 2 owners, and it's included with Xbox Game Pass.
You don't have to pay for it.
Happy Homecoming.
I love it. Thank you, Wonder, very much.
My pleasure.
Now we move from Trumbull Valley to the Lost Valley of Akria. This mystical location trades zombies for ancient warrior clans, forgotten temples of long-dead god kings, and a healthy dose of hack and slash. All this awaits in Strayblade.
What? What the fuck is this? We're in 2022. The fuck?
In Strayblade, you discover the mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dudes to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that weren't enough, you even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out. Between the epic fights and this small guy, there's clearly a lot going on here. So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Strayblade.
Hello everybody, I'm Leonard Kausch, Game Director at Point Blank Games, and today I will show you Strayblade. Strayblade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer who is exploring the ancient valley of Akria with his companion, a witty wolf named Boji. Unveil the history of the Forgotten Valley, muster the powers of the 3 Akrian metals to restore balance to this war-torn land.
That is the how, as well as the why.
Combat and exploration are the 2 key elements of our game. Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with split-second blade-to-blade reactions. It is the high noon of skill-based melee weapon combat. To achieve that, we put our hearts into creating fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishers. You can choose from multiple weapon categories that can be combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. Together with your companion, explore the deepest corners of an ever-changing world bristling with adventure. Every discovery holds treasure. Find rare materials, recipes, weapons, lore pieces, and beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world around you. When you die, time keeps moving forward. Enemy skills stay dead, new foes invade camps that you weakened, and when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights. We hope you enjoyed the first look at Strayblade, which will be out next year. And keep an eye on our social media channels for more information.
Next up, one of the most unique games finally comes to Xbox.
Yeah, unique. As in, my evil twin murdered 4 of my husbands because they secretly are in love with me. Unique.
In case that didn't tip you off, we're talking about Crusader Kings 3, the medieval grand strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that would conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Yeah, it's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the UI and controls have been refined to bring that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our throne room soon enough. Check out Crusader Kings 3, now coming to Xbox consoles.
It's a snake.
My son, we must never forget the crimes committed against us. Your father sought his glorious revenge and failed.
Damn.
He never understood that the greatest wars are won with weddings, not warriors. With daggers, not swords. Only the small-minded measure success across the span of a single life. The real game is played across generations.
Oh, damn.
You see, real strategy requires cunning.
Crusader Kings 3 is wild. You really haven't lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected into a psychedelic 60s wonderland kind of weird?
Exactly that kind of weird, which means I am so excited for Psychonauts to finally get a sequel. It has been so long.
There really is something special about Psychonauts, isn't it?
There really is indeed. Now, think about this. 2005, when Psychonauts originally came out, was a different time for gaming. Most of the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4, Battlefield 2, Call of Duty 2. They were great games, for sure, but they were all big, beefy shooter games.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy, dark, and combative.
Not to mention having some deceptively deep character moments.
That's why the original is considered a cult classic.
It has been a long time coming, and it is finally here. Enjoy this long-awaited launch trailer for Psychonauts.
Well, this shouldn't take too long.
Bro, what is going on in PAX? Are you seeing this?
Yep.
My name is Raz, and I'm the new intern. And today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
Did you forget everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did what? Can't we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
All I see is another unruly peasant.
Oh boy.
When men do misfire, turns our world on its side. Only one man can save us. Mind reader.
It wouldn't be the first time the Psychonauts underestimated Maligula's power.
Fire! Leave it to me.
Oh shit, that's tomorrow. I didn't even put that together. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Well, it's clear I could not be more excited for Psychonauts 2 because I gotta be honest, me and that original game, we got some beef that needs settling. If you know, you know. The meat circus level, it is infamous, it is brutal, it is difficult to say the least. It's the final level of the original game that came out, and I cannot believe I'm doing the math on this one. 16 years ago, Tim Schafer and Lizette Teatree Montgomery. I am definitely dating myself, but you all welcome from Double Fine Productions. Thank you so much for being here. Tim, can you believe it has been 16 years? I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them. And so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which we were able to do because we brought back a lot of the same voice actors, and we also have a lot of people on the team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of new people like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style of Wonk that is very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's what's fun about a Psychonauts game is that all the levels are different, just like every person is different based on their personality. If you could jump into someone's mind, what would it look like in there? What would be the color of the sky, and like who would the monsters be? And in Psychonauts, you get to do that because Raz has the power of astral projection. And when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and wrestle with their inner demons. And so there's a ton of variety, and there's a lot of anything goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game was really fun to do.
Well, I loved it from the first game, certainly. Let's talk a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses itself in the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons, and I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here. And in addition to that, we also have our doubts and some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor. Also, some regrets. Some flying regrets. There are a ranged enemy, and they definitely are challenging. Our doubts are our slow, sticky melee enemy. You're also seeing our enabler here. He energizes our whole combat troop. So we have a whole cast that you can battle and fight with.
Including the new bad mood.
Including the bad mood.
Which is...
It's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't played the original, available now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way, wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills, one being the acrobatic skills he learned growing up in the circus. He can balance on tightropes, jump on trampolines, swing on trapezes, and that helps him navigate and get around to all kinds of interesting places. But he also has this other side to his personality, which is that he's a powerful psychic. So he can levitate objects, he can use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers which people might recognize from the first game, as well as 3 new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect 2 thoughts and actually connect 2 thoughts together to solve puzzles and to navigate in this game. He has the power of time bubble, which is just change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception of time. And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle or in puzzle solving.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down at the bottom.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his new friends. And so the interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of a circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette, Tim from Double Fine, thank you so much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And you can catch more of Tim Schafer and ask him those burning questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this supremely satisfying 4K 60 trailer for The Gunk.
Let go.
I don't like this weather. I'm pretty sure the ship's insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The gunk's eating everything here.
They announced this at the E3
This
showcase.
planet is literally a paradise when the gunk's gone.
Oh my god, I gotta clean all that up? This is worse than Viscera cleanup.
Vex? Oh, please, Vex.
Let go.
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but let me just say, it is so cool that State of Decay 2 is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on. And hey, you know what? Great job on that Flight Sim interview.
Oh, thank you. I mean, talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you, be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week at twitch.tv/Xbox, so make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it has been our distinct pleasure to chat games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open-world driving game Forza Horizon 4, arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles, Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel to see all this new exclusive content.
And that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already watching on Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
Well, I'm in Grip 2 too. It's actually really nice.
Get down with your boom boom.
Actually a dope ass controller.
Charlie here, and I'm at Playground Games with Forza Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arcetta. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. Hello.
How cool is this?
That is stunning. Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw a really cool video about it, and I'll be the first to say there is an amazing influence of Mexican car culture and music literally splayed right across the front. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. It just feels like it's a part of the Horizon Festival, like it's just dropped out of the game into your lap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
And there's so much we do want to show the fans, and it's been quite difficult to decide where to start. So can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
Yeah, and people think that Mexico is just a desert or a beach, but there's so much more to it, isn't there?
That's right. Even though it does have pretty awesome beaches and a number of amazing deserts, it also has vast canyons, hidden temples, awesome, beautiful historic cities, and even a towering snow-capped volcano, the highest point we've ever had in a Horizon game.
So you've talked about how Forza Horizon 5 showcases powerful, all-new graphical features, but what more can you tell us about that?
So yeah, our Mexican HDR sky captures really illuminate the world to the point where you feel like you're really there. And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista to really make our cars look more true to real life. You'll encounter the smallest of details as you travel throughout the world, all rendered with striking realism.
Oh, that's such an exciting overview. I cannot wait. And next up is something we know that Forza Horizon fans have definitely been waiting for the most. Mike, what exactly is that?
Yeah, that's right. We are about to reveal the cover of Forza Horizon 5, featuring the incredible Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. Should we take a look?
Let's do it, yeah.
person, when they're not linked up like that, the Bronco. I've seen a couple recently, like in actual real life, and they're pretty small compared to how big I thought they would be.
Now, those are two very different ways to explore Mexico. So what I want to know is why those two cars were chosen and what players can expect when they get behind the wheel.
Yeah, so those differences are exactly why we chose them. The Mercedes-AMG 1 marks the first time a car features Formula One hybrid technology almost one-to-one from track to the street. And with the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, that's primed for rugged off-roading across Mexico's vast terrain.
And I'm certain people can't wait to see more of what these cars can do in the game, so I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off a Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5. But before that, we have 8 minutes of brand new gameplay where we're going to see both the Mercedes-AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. And in typical Horizon fashion, we are going to see active volcanoes, cars jumping out of cargo planes, and a race under beautiful Mexican skies all the way to the Horizon Festival. Should we check it out?
I think we should.
Getting dropped out of planes now? Oh shit, we're jumping into Warzone. This is fucking Fast and Furious now. Drop it like it's hot. Oh god. That should come out.
Bienvenidos a Mexico!
Here we take control of the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, atop of the towering, snow-capped Gran Caldera volcano.
See you on the other side! Follow that car! Past me! There might be a little bit of traffic ahead. Watch out for that.
Man, jumping down into another race.
Making new friends, eh? You go enjoy yourself. I have to go make another delivery.
Was that the Street Hunter Corvette?
Drop zone approaching! Lovely day for a drive!
So now we see the 2020 Corvette Stingray tearing up the asphalt towards a dust storm in the Mexican farmland.
Outtrack the storm! No sigue adelante! Keep going! Okay! There's no other way around! We've got to go through it! For the eye of the storm!
literally have to just go off the map. You can barely see it now. That's crazy. Looks dope.
Okay, on my mark. 5, 4. Or now, that's fine.
Or now.
This could get a little rough.
Ooh,
Touchdown! Not even a scratch. The jungle awaits.
Next up is the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, crashing through the dense jungle tree canopy.
Flamingos! You through the bridge. ¡Qué maravilla! You're not gonna believe your eyes when you see this. Keep going. Drop! The whole festival is waiting! Go, go, go! What do you say? The rest of the festival wins? Vámonos!
And on the final leg, we have the stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed across Mexico's sun-baked rocky coast.
This is Mexico. We've already had cars falling out of the sky, but all eyes are on the superstar making their way to the festival right now. If you've just arrived at Horizon Mexico, then you are in for a treat, my friends. Get ready for the biggest Horizon adventure of your life. Did you hear that? Well, that is the last inbound cargo flight racing neck and neck with an AMG 1. So strap yourselves in, Horizon. I've seen this driver before, and trust me, they know how to make an entrance.
Insane, and the game looks so good. I'm actually excited to play that. It's over. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording here. I'm gonna go ahead and leave soon. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.